Here, coalition builder and founder of Bringing Humanity Together. You know what today is? It is terrific and transformational Thursday. It is another great day to be alive and another gift not only to receive but to give as well. So today I got my great partner and friend Miss Carla here is going to be sharing some great wealth of knowledge and insights on something that's really near and dear to her heart. So I know you guys are going to be engaged and you're going to really love what she's going to share today. So again, welcome everyone to the Bringing Humanity Together live stream. This is one of the three open forums under the Bringing Humanity Together umbrella where people can discuss topics related to the workplace and humanity in the workplace in a very positive and constructive way. We want to know what the issues that are out there that are facing people today because that's our goal, our mission, our passion, our purpose, and I dare say our calling here at Bringing Humanity Together to create environments that people will love, not only in those workplaces, but also in those very communities because we truly see how interconnected they really are. And also, we're dead set on also bringing employers and employees to the table of humanity and truly bringing that humanity back into the workforce every day in every way. So, as a reminder, always we'll be going live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all at 2:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Please invite your friends, your coworkers, your family, people who really want to have great and engaging conversation. Not only does those conversations matter, but maybe some of those stories that you share with each other can also stick and maybe create that call to action, maybe create that environment for you in which you will love and might even turn into a life that you love. And as always, we would like for you to join our great and growing community here at Bringing Humanity Together. So please reach out to me or to Miss Carla, and we would love to get you involved in what we're building here at Bringing Humanity Together. So, hello, Miss Carla.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
You sound like you kind of under the weather a little bit.
I think I got a crud or something.
Uh oh.
I'm okay.
You're feeling good though.
Yeah.
Just under, right there in the throat.
Yeah, I kind of have a scratchy throat, but that's okay.
All right.
The nose is clear. I don't know what it is. I don't have a fever or anything, so
It's
I'll
just
be
one of
good.
those things that just popped out of the blue.
Yeah, I have no idea where it came from,
Wow, wow.
but that's okay.
So,
It's another
so,
day.
but work actually, I was actually off work actually in time, so I'm not doing a mobile
Yeah,
uh
you're not running.
humanity happy hour today, so that was a good thing. But today was just a somewhat of a great day because I'm starting to see now kids are getting ready to go back into school because next week school, so kids
When do they start?
the 13th.
The 13th. Okay, you broke up there for a second. Wow. We start, well, there's one
The
county that started last weekend or last Friday, and for like one day, and then they had a full week this week. Um, Another county started Wednesday, and the county I'm in starts on Friday. So they're kind of all over the
yeah,
place
and
with.
that's yeah. But see, you would think that in a state you try to get all the counties under one kind of
Yeah, you would think they'd
set
all
of
start at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. But up north, they don't start till after Labor Day.
yeah, exactly,
And then they don't get
exactly.
out till June. And
Yeah,
it's either North or South Carolina. Somebody was telling me that they have year round schooling.
yes,
So they don't
that is
necessarily get
true.
10 weeks off in the summer like a lot of us do.
Yeah,
And actually, it's really not 10. Well, yeah, was 6. Yeah, about 10 weeks, I guess. So,
yeah,
so yeah, I've seen the traffic pick up.
yeah, yeah. And I just found out today. Oh no, no, not yet. Not today, but yesterday when
The
I was,
13th is a Saturday.
huh?
The 13th is a Saturday.
13th is a Saturday.
Yeah, because I'm coming home from Florida on the 14th, and that's a Sunday.
So that means it's going to be
Maybe they
starting
start
that
the
next
12th
following Monday
or the
then.
15th. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah,
The
like I
traffic
said,
picked up.
Yeah, but like I said though, when I was picking Belinda up from work yesterday, I heard on the radio that Polk County, just as of last year, had I think close to 68 to 70,000 new people to come to the county.
Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet you've had a huge influx of people. And then the state of New York had 120,000 less enrollments.
Yep. And
So a
then
lot of people have decided to
and,
homeschool.
and they're projecting too for this year at least that we'll have another close to another 35,000 coming into the county
Oh,
supposedly.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Jim went to go to Walmart on his way home from work yesterday to pick up, what was he doing? He was going to pick up water or something. And he forgot that school was starting, and so everybody's out buying school supplies. And it dawned
right.
on him when he was going up like the fourth aisle, trying to
Yep.
figure out where he was going to park his car. So it was a zoo. So
Well, I wonder if his business changes there at the one place he works at.
the what?
I wonder if his business changes because of school at the wine place he works at.
Um, they were slammed on Tuesday and very quiet on Wednesday, which was unusual. So
Yeah, we were actually a little bit busier yesterday at the restaurant, but compared to today, it was like night and day. We had hardly anybody in there.
wow.
Yeah, so and that's usually the curve that we see when it goes into school. We see a lot of people eat, and then it slowly just kind of trickles out, and not a lot of people, because then people are coming back from vacation, school's getting ready to be. I think some of the church driven schools, they're already starting getting geared up for their schooling because they're already doing the pre-K, VPK, all that kind of stuff. So they're getting geared up for that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how restaurants go because I mean we go to Applebee's. My dad likes to go to Applebee's and it's amazing how few people there are in there. It's like I don't know how they stay open.
Yeah,
I told him, I said it probably costs them more money to close the place than it would to stay open and realize that this is an underperforming store as opposed to, and maybe they make it up on the weekends. I don't know.
yeah, you'd be surprised. In fact, this is what I learned from Melinda when she worked at Kmart years ago. The pharmacy actually did more sales than the general store did. So the pharmacies carried the store compared to the store actually being in balance with the pharmacy.
Yeah,
That's kind of ironic. But get
that
but get
is.
but get this. When I was taking Melinda to work today, she just got a notification through her work app that she has for Walmart. Today marks her 17th anniversary working at Walmart.
Wow.
17 years at Walmart, but then she was at Kmart 11 and a half years.
Wow.
So think of all that time just being in the pharmacy.
I'm sure she's seen a lot happen over the past 28 years. Am I adding
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she started in the pharmacy when she was 16 or 17, and she couldn't really do actual pharmacy stuff until she was 18. So but she was actually in the pharmacy I think around 17, but she did all her schooling and all that kind of stuff while she was working there. And
Yeah.
then
Well, that's good.
yeah, yeah,
That's good. So,
yeah. So but yeah, 17 years at one place, that's amazing in and of itself.
oh yeah. Well, I was at one of my jobs for 14 years.
At one office.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. I would have stayed if they would have hired me as a nurse practitioner, but they weren't hiring any more nurse practitioners.
Why not? Just not in the budget? Just not
I
what
don't
they
know.
needed?
I don't know.
Wow.
Which led me to the other place, which led me to where I am today. So
Everything happens for a reason, does it not?
happens, life happens for you, not to you. You know.
Yeah. That's why
There's
you
no-
always have a plan B.
Yes, yes, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do we have on tap today?
Well, there were a couple of things. I found some really good short videos on. One of them is the 3 rules to better work-life balance. We talk about that all the time, and a lot of that comes from us.
Right.
A lot of that comes from, setting boundaries and making sure that you're getting plenty of rest and, really being intentional about it and setting, even if you own your own business, you can burn yourself out working all sorts of crazy hours and you're actually more unproductive than you are productive. So you need that downtime to kind of refuel and kind of recharge. And, um, you know, people give you deadlines. They want everything yesterday. And set, you might have somebody. I've had people that have said, "Can you meet at 10 o'clock at night?" And I'm like, "No, that's my family time." You know, it's like, um, set boundaries and set deadlines. And if somebody says, "Hey, can you get this to me on Monday morning?" Say, "How about Tuesday afternoon? Because I don't want to work on it all weekend." And you
Right.
shouldn't be expected to work on it all weekend. So you really need to, when you're gone from work, you're gone from work. Leave it at work. And when you're not and you're in it, you focus on that. But when you're done, you're done.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
reminds me of when I worked in an OR, when the patients were gone, they were gone. When their surgery was done, they recovered, they're put in the car, they're done. I didn't have to worry about, did we get the lab results back? Did we get this? Did we get that? Did they have this? Did they have that? Did they get a call back? All this other kind of stuff. I didn't have to worry about that. I would go home from work and think about stuff. Oh, gee, I don't remember those test results or whatever, you know? So I would literally email myself at work as a reminder to check on something the next day. And I'm like, I gotta stop leaving that at work.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Crazy, kind of crazy. But I love this. It was a TED Talk video. And then the second one that I have was really good, is about really creating a culture of health in the workplace. I know where I worked last, they offered free insurance to people that enrolled with our they had like a corporate wellness program. And how they could afford to do this, I have no clue. But it was amazing how many people didn't take advantage of it. It's like, they were paying $800 a month for my healthcare insurance. And it was a great plan. I didn't have to use a whole lot, but it was amazing how many people did not participate in the corporate wellness program. But sadly, that corporate wellness program was just a quarterly little chit chat session with somebody. And there was like, we would have challenges and different things like that. But there was really no continuity. I certainly didn't learn anything from it because I knew a lot of that stuff anyway. And when I sat down and talked with her, it was kind of a nice little chit chat session. But I think that the people really need to get into really digging in on a deeper level into the corporate health and wellness programs that they're going to initiate for their employees to truly get something out of it. And in the long run, if you're healthy, it's going to actually be better for the company because their overall insurance rates are going to be lower. But there's so much more that you can do in terms of initiating a corporate health and wellness program. So when Chris gets back on, we'll be able to look at those videos that he has and share them with everybody because he has them. So if you're watching, I'm looking at, excuse me, to see if anybody commented. Feel free to comment. What kind of health and wellness programs do you have in your workplace where you're at? And let's talk about it. Maybe there's some great ideas out there for people to really get into a healthy routine in their business, because the payback is so great in terms of more productivity, increasing your ROI, and really having a healthy workplace. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I just had a service interruption in my internet, so I had to go to the mobile hotspot.
Oh, joy. Oh, joy.
So I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. And get this, and I didn't do it, and it's something probably Restream did it on their own. Can you believe Restream actually set today's call, which is an odd number, which is at 3:23 in the afternoon, which I didn't set it up that way.
Oh, technology, you gotta love it.
Yeah. So
You
I
gotta
apologize, that, ladies and gentlemen, but technical glitches does happen.
Yeah, you gotta love technology,
But as you
So
were saying,
why don't you
Carla?
go ahead and roll the first video that I sent you?
Okay, very good, very good. I already got the other one pulled up already. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
3 rules for better work-life balance. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here is three world three
3 rules to better work life.
Yeah, better work-life balance. Yes. So here it is.
For so many of us, myself included, our days feel filled with a million small interruptions. And this is true even of our days off. Maybe you've taken a call at the beach, texted your boss from the grocery store, or emailed a colleague while on a picnic with your family. We've convinced ourselves that these behaviors are no big deal. It's just one email. But there's a real cost to these interruptions, and there are smart strategies we can all take to better protect our time. These moments seem so small at the time, and yet research suggests they add up to a tremendous loss. The constant creep of work into our personal lives can increase our stress and undermine our happiness. So just what is the cost? In one study, researchers recruited parents who were visiting a science museum with their kids. Some parents were told to check their phone as much as possible, others were told to check their phone as little as possible. After the visit, parents who used their phones reported that the experience was significantly less meaningful. They also felt much lonelier. In another study, tourists who were asked to have their phone out while visiting an iconic church remembered fewer details a week later. And in my research, employees who were paid for their performance spent increasingly less time interacting with friends and family, and more time interacting with colleagues and clients. These constant interruptions come at a cost to organizations too. Companies lose 32 days of productivity each year to employee depression, which is often caused by the stress and burnout of our always-on culture. Despite knowing better, I too have found myself focusing on urgent work distractions over important life moments. Most recently, I found myself texting a client while in the middle of my first child's first ultrasound. Happy client, guilty mom to be. When you add up all of these moments, the sum total is a life shortchanged on meaning, joy, connection, and even memory. As we remake our models of work in the wake of the pandemic, now is our opportunity to create a new culture that respects time. And the way to make this really big change is through small steps that we can take right now. The first step that we need to take is to reframe rest. Reflect for a moment about what you think about when you hear the word rest. Sounds amazing, right? But in my mind, I immediately worry about not being productive enough or letting down my colleagues. When we do have time off, we need to find ways in which we can enjoy the present moment and savor the leisure time that we have available, as opposed to seeing it as an unproductive barrier to our work. One specific strategy we can take is to treat our upcoming weekend like a vacation. On Friday afternoon, jot down how you would act and behave as if you were on a holiday. Maybe you and your partner will buy a bottle of wine and watch online clips of the Eiffel Tower. Maybe you'll visit a local cafe and listen to some live music. Or maybe you'll go for a long walk in the middle of the day with no phone and no agenda. The plan doesn't have to be expensive or extravagant. Another strategy you can take is to create clear boundaries for your time off. Instead of saying, I'm out of the office, feel free to Slack me whenever, say, I'll be offline. Call me only if it's urgent. To uphold these personal goals, work together as a team. Set team goals for personal time. Do it publicly, collect data, and hold each other accountable. These goals could sound like, I will not check email between 6 and 8 p.m., I will have dinner with my family 4 nights a week, or I will go for a jog midday. Check in on your team's progress and see how everyone's doing. If you or your teammates are unsuccessful, work together to help accomplish personal goals. Lastly, you can negotiate for more time to prevent work from creeping into your personal life. In business school, I teach students to negotiate for salary, but realize I spoke almost nothing about negotiating for more time. Look like in practice. You can ask for more time on adjustable deadlines at work. If your client asks for a deliverable Monday morning, ask for an extension until Tuesday afternoon so you don't find yourself working on your well-deserved weekend. And don't worry too much about reputation. Quality truly is the metric that matters most. In my data, employees who proactively asked for more time reported lower levels of stress and burnout and were seen as more committed and professional by their colleagues. These are small but powerful changes to not only reframe rest, but to reclaim it. Once you discover the profound impact that these changes can have, you'll feel empowered to demand that others respect and accommodate your approach to time. Maybe they'll even feel inspired to piece together the fractured moments of their lives too.
I ended up spiraling.
That was truly powerful, Carla.
You liked it? Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you're gonna set an example for people to set boundaries. There are a lot of people out there that feel like they're being walked over, and they don't set boundaries. And even if it's something as important of, hey, my boss is taking lunch, and that having them encourage other people to take lunch and take their breaks. We've talked about this before of if you're in leadership, encourage your people to take their breaks. And if it's something that you can relieve them in doing, to say, hey, go take a break, because legally, they say that people are allowed 30 minutes for lunch and 15-minute break, or they can do an hour for lunch.
Yeah.
People need breaks. So if you're in leadership, make sure your people know that it's okay to take breaks, and that no, I'm not going to ask somebody to stay late because I choose to stay late. I don't want them to think, oh, I have to stay late because the boss is staying late. That's a personal choice I make. The hours I work are the personal, it's my choice. I'm not going to ask anybody else to do that. I can certainly show people how to work, smarter and not harder, But it's like, saying, hey, what can I do to help you out to get out of here? So there's
Yeah,
a lot of things
exactly.
you can do in leadership, and I love what they were talking about. Your weekends are your weekends, or your days off are your days off.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And that's when balance truly comes into play. Because if you don't recognize that balance, not only for yourself, but don't recognize it for others, whether you're in leadership or not, then what's going to end up happening is like you, Carla, when you have shared your time when you was not only going to school, but you were going to work, you were burning candles at both ends and all those things. And it really wears on you because when you do burn candles at the both ends, you literally not only can create burnout, but then your health will suffer because of it.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, look at situations that your friends been in. They're at work, and uh, they're busting their tail, and oh, the truck's going to be late. Can you stay? Well, a lot of people would feel bad about staying, but I mean, if you've got other things that you have to do and other commitments, they need to say, no, I can't. And say, whose problem is this?
Right?
And say, hey, I'd really like to help you out, but I have an appointment. Do you need to go into detail?
Exactly.
Absolutely not. I remember a friend of mine when she went to New York when COVID first came out, and she was a trauma nurse, and she went to volunteer, and I think they gave them, they paid them, but she would go down and check in every day, and they would go, hey, does anybody want to do a shift for free? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, to think that somebody would even assume that people would say yes to that. I mean, back in the day when COVID first started, it was spring of 2020. We didn't know how severe COVID was. We saw people dying in the ER before we could even assess them. So, of course, everyone's like heightenedly aware of what's going on. And to have somebody have the audacity to say, can you work for free? No, because you need that rest and recovery time. I just can't even imagine the trauma of those days when COVID first came out.
Exactly. And I'm of the believer mindset, Carla, that when we go out into the workplace, or literally in every aspect of our lives, and we want to have a better way to live and a better way to be healthy and a better way to work, well, the way I view it, it's all interconnected, it's all there. And it's about creating not only that lifestyle change for yourself, but also creating that environment with others to such the nth degree that they see, hey, wait a minute, Carla's not burning herself and just running her with her head cut off. She is intentionally doing these particular things to not only keep her healthy, but also keep her focused, keep her engaged, keep her on her toes. Because if she is no use to anybody else on the team, or even to Jim or anyone else, then not only she's doing a disservice to her, but she's doing a disservice to everyone else around her. And that's not a great thing to do.
Yeah, it's so true. You got to take care of yourself first.
Oh, absolutely, we do.
And I used to, when I first started my business, I would do calls late at night or whatever, and then I thought, no, especially when I would book a call with someone, send them a reminder for their calendar, and then they would never show up. If it was on a weekend or something, I would never offer them a weekend again.
Right?
because it's like, no, you just don't do that to people. You know, people
Mhm.
are taking part of their time, especially when you own your own business. Um, they make that time for you, and something else is given up for that. And so now I have a pretty strict schedule of scheduling. You know, and I'll occasionally do something on a Saturday for somebody, but it's usually before noon, and it's not in my scheduling app.
Right, right. And I truly believe too, Carla, is when we recognize what we're doing inside a team, and it's like what um, Ashley Whelan said in the video. She said it really communicate with those around you. Set aside that time. Say, only call me if urgent, or I will be jogging here, or I will be having dinner with my family these nights during the week. Communication goes a long way because then people will know what they can do versus what they can't do. And by doing that, in one way, shape, or form, people might look at it as setting boundaries and that kind of thing, and that's okay. But it's really the communication aspect that really needs to be shown to them, and everyone needs to hear to a certain extent that they know what those parameters look like and see. Because then again, you don't want to end up, and this has happened to me many, 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 many times. I would leave work and then I will get a phone call, a text saying, "Hey, you got to do this, that, and the other." I'm like, I've already left the store. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah.
go back to the store. And there was many times that when years and years and years and years ago, when I worked at Amazon, they had this what's called personal time off kind of thing. So they say if you've been cut for the day because they didn't have enough labor to do whatever that kind of thing, you were still getting paid for the day. There was many times that when I was granted that and already went back home, I would get a phone call and say, "Hey, Chris, can you come back in and work?" And I'm like, "Sorry, there's nothing I can do with that."
So this was not a requested day. It's like maybe things were slow and they said, "Hey, do
Correct.
you want to take some PTO time?"
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. It's all done on
And then as you
projection.
got home,
Yes.
they were calling you to and ask you to come back in.
Yep.
Wow.
And didn't stop at Amazon. I've had that happen to me in restaurants in many places I've worked at before, and also in retail. I've had that happen to me to where, oh, okay, we're going to cut you short for today because the labor tells us that we only can do just so much in labor. We're going to send you home, and then someone else doesn't show or whatever the case may be, and the next thing you know, oh, can you come in now? Can you be
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
And that's when
I just heard that Walmart was laying off thousands of people. And there was somebody else that was laying off as well. And I was like, "Yep, they said layoffs were coming." But
yeah,
that's really tough because if you have that, if they say, "Hey, do you want to take PTO?" When you really need it because you're sick or a doctor's appointment or whatever, you won't have it and you're ending up taking a day off without pay. And for a lot of people, they depend on that pay to make ends meet every month.
right, correct. And that
It's
is
the
why,
if I don't work, I don't get paid.
right, and that is why I truly believe, Carla, when it not only comes to your health and wellness at work, but literally in life itself, because see, that's paramount. That goes beyond what you do, whether it be at home or at work. Your health is at every level of what you do and who you are. Because again, if you're not healthy, you're not going to be good when you're going to the grocery store, getting the things that you want. You're not going to be going be feeling good when you want to go on vacation and everything like that. And like I said, when we are doing these things that really excites us and it calls to us, and of course, people have to go to work to be able to get money and that kind of thing, and we recognize that. But especially when you go to work and you do have those times you say, "Oh, I'm not feeling it," and that kind of thing. I think this is a thing that we also need to bring to the table, Carla, because it just came into my mind. I believe our work culture has ingrained in us saying, okay, if you're a little sick, you got to keep pushing through it and still show up and go to work and everything. When really common sense will dictate that if you are sick and you're not feeling that great, it's better to rest and recoup at home because you don't want to end up going to work, not only have the potential of infecting others or even making yourself worse, but then that's when leadership can come into play and say, hey, I recognize something's going on. You've had a long week already. We need you to be healthy. So stay home. We'll take care of it. Rest and relax. And and,
A
and,
lot
and
of
I
people
believe,
a lot of people show up at work sick because they want to use their PTO, their paid time off, for a vacation
Mhm.
or, a long weekend or whatever and spread it out over the year. They don't want to use it as sick time.
Mhm.
And so they show up at work sick. And then they infect everyone else,
Right.
whether it be the
Like I said,
flu, a GI bug, or whatever. It's amazing. But you
but
know
see
what?
that
When you only get like 2 weeks, you know, um, I mean, okay, so there's usually no way in hell that you can get a dentist appointment, an eye appointment, your annual exam, your mammogram, and um, anything else all on the same day.
right.
And so you usually have to take a day off. Well, that's 4 or 5 days. And when you're only given 2 weeks, which is 10 days, it doesn't
Right.
go very far.
Right. But like I said, I believe we have ingrained that kind of culture into every aspect of our lives. And yes, granted, sometimes there are people who go out there and still do the work because they can have that access to do that. It's just like, think about it. When you see all these people in sports, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, there are people who actually still be sick and go out there and do their job because they want to show up and win for the team and do that. But when you think about it, still, even in that context, you're still doing more harm than good because, yeah, granted, you may end up having the flu and you're playing football and you're getting overheated and that kind of thing. Then your next thing you know, you're getting IV stuck in your arms and everything. They keep you hydrated, and then I mean, come on, you gotta actually take in consideration what is the risk reward factor of that kind of dynamic, and we put a value on risk every day of our lives. When we get into the car, when we go out and get the mail, when we go out and go to work, we put a value into that. And actually, when you look at that risk reward factor, if you are in that kind of dynamic that you are truly sick as you are, then maybe it is saying, hey, coach, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling as great. Maybe I need to kind of sit back. And if you absolutely need me, just put me on the bench and everything like that. Because I know sometimes if you do get a little sniffle and cold, that kind of thing, it may not lead into something. You may never know. But, most other traditional businesses, that would think will be par for the course and saying, hey, you got to show up because you just only have a sniffle. You'll be okay. You still got to do your 10-hour day.
Yeah. We're conditioned to push through.
Yes.
You know, you have a sports injury and they say, walk it off.
Yeah.
You know, you're just told to push through. I love this video because it talks about creating a culture of health in the workplace, because there's so many great benefits for the business and the employee. You have an increased ROI, return on your investment. When people are healthy, they're absent from work less, and people are happier when they feel good. You know,
Right.
I was talking about this when you got kicked off, but we really need to dive in and create a healthy lifestyle environment in the workplace that people can learn different things to utilize at work and outside of work, to where they're creating that overall healthy lifestyle, like healthy snacks, or a fitness routine, or getting people together and doing lunchtime walks, or maybe giving them a discount on a gym if there's a gym in the building.
Right.
Doing incentives for how many times they actually go to the gym. Who's our a top gym person for the week or whatever. Actually creating a healthy lifestyle by providing value to people and informing them of what's going on in ways that they can change their health and wellness, and creating a great lifestyle. This guy here was part of a foundation, he supported the foundation and did through John Hopkins School of Business, and it was really amazing, some of the things that they discovered when they actually dug in and created a health and wellness program for the employees.
Wow. Well, here is John Hopkins and their take on promoting healthy workplaces. And this is from the Bloomberg School of Public Health. And here is Extraordinary Workplace Wellness Programs.
Hi, I'm Ron Getzel, Senior Scientist at the Institute for Health and Productivity Studies at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. As the principal investigator of the Promoting Healthy Workplaces project, supported by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, I'd like to introduce you to 3 companies that have created a culture of health at their workplaces. These companies, along with 6 others we visited as part of this initiative, have built remarkable programs that promote workers' health and well-being. The stories you'll hear from company executives, program implementers, and line workers are more than just stories. They're backed by results, hard data demonstrating that the health promotion programs in place for many years are not just good for workers, they're also good for business. These are stories with substance. First, we'll hear from executives and employees at NextJump, a successful small e-commerce company headquartered in New York City. NextJump's business philosophy is proof that being small can be an asset when building a wellness program and changing corporate culture while at the same time achieving amazing business results.
Health and wellness is, one of our foundational principles. We believe that in order to do your best work, you have to first take care of yourself. And so that's really what originated our fitness and nutrition programs. So I think people come here knowing that they will be taken care of. They will have great energy both in and out of work.
We as a wellness team try to help you manage your energy, manage your ability through fitness, through nutrition, through different kind of psychological and emotional coaching programs. We want you to be the best you can be.
They do encourage those breaks so that you can go back and actually do a better job. And because the gym is here in the workplace, because the healthy snacks, we're surrounded by them, it becomes easier to disengage in that way and take that 20-minute break and come back to work and be able to get your work done more efficiently.
Basically, it's like it's a process and not the outcome which matters. So it's not just working out like traditional strength training, but having different classes like boxing or even dance classes or ping pong.
We encourage people to work out twice a week for 20 minutes. If we had some unattainable goal like 3 or 5 days a week for an hour, we don't think that people would be as inclined to participate.
People ask us all the time the ROI question. Do you know if it works? It absolutely works. Our sales growth for 5 years averaged 30% year over year, which is a good number, but it's so consistent for 5 years. For the last 2, now going on 3 years, jumped to 120%, fourfold growth rate. The only variable we moved was continuing to invest in our people.
The company's been thriving and growing at a fast pace, and the more that we take care of our family and invest in employee growth through health, nutrition, and also emotionally and mentally, the company does better.
The way we look at it is, why wouldn't you invest in your employees? Your people, if you take care of them, are going to take care of your business.
I don't believe there are very few CEOs left on this planet who don't believe that is the right thing to do. However, they don't have the courage, the proof, to actually go do it. I think what is more revolutionary is the fact that we have more than one person who believes it, and we are doing it.
It's a great example Nextgym has set up, and it'll be amazing to see other companies adopting.
Other companies thinking about implementing programs, I would really encourage them to make it easy to put that health and wellness at people's fingertips.
I think a lot of people don't start because they're trying to get this perfect plan. You know, a lot of people will come in and say, yeah, well, we can't build a fitness center, but we didn't either. But it just, if you find it important, you'll find a way to start.
Start reasonable and grow from there. Don't try and go from 0 to 100 miles an hour.
Human beings take time to change. Most leaders give up before they actually see the change.
The benefits have been huge. So not only are people healthier and happier and more productive, but it's a great way for people to bond and to become closer in different ways.
What we'll do even 20 years from now will be very different than what we do today. But the one thing that has been consistent has been the culture we built.
Next, we'll travel across the river to New Jersey and interview employees and senior managers at Johnson & Johnson, a large multinational corporation with 129,000 workers and operations in more than 60 countries. Johnson & Johnson was a pioneer in developing health promotion programs starting in the late 1970s. It has won the prestigious C. Everett Koop Award and has sustained its program for over 30 years.
The culture of health has been one of the key things that attracted me first to work for Johnson & Johnson. But secondly, it has been in place for over 30 plus years. Being here 25 years, you see the evolution of health and wellness within Johnson & Johnson.
Our overall health and wellness philosophy and programs helps me personally get through a pretty stressful job that I have just by giving me permission to take care of myself.
It's not about programs. It's really about creating and sustaining a culture of health. The program and services are really geared more towards supporting the culture.
To create that environment, there's a lot of different things involved. So some of it is the built environment. So the building, as you walk through, you see health, it feels like health. That may be in walking paths or the fitness centers.
I like taking the classes at lunchtime. I just don't even think about it. I put it on my calendar, get up from my desk and come down. Every class is different. You have the opportunity to do cardio work or strength training. And when I leave, I feel energized and I feel more productive when I go back to my desk.
It's not just about extrinsic motivation, actually giving people a financial incentive. It's really about intrinsic motivation. I think an individual is much more likely to sustain good, healthy, positive behaviors if they're doing it because it's important to them.
I think that people that get involved in the programs do them because they want to, and generally what I see is once people become involved, they want to do it more.
We're enough to be, the largest healthcare company in the world, and as such, we want to have the healthiest employees in the world.
We say that this is part of our business. For the best of our employees, having our employees fully present, fully engaged is a business issue. It's not just a nice to have.
We're all leaders. We all have to take a responsibility for ourselves, our future. And so if you think of yourself as a leader, then you can influence those around you. And that's really the goal, is that it spreads out. It's a ripple effect.
We feel incredibly confident that this is a key platform strategy for sustainability of an organization over time.
Finally, we'll visit San Antonio, Texas, where workers at USAA, a banking, investing, and insurance company servicing the military community, tell us how they've created cultures of health using health-promoting surround sound. Their program has been in place for over 10 years, and they too are winners of the C. Everett Koop Award.
So surround sound is a concept we came up with fairly early on, and it really goes back to the idea about the built environment and changing culture. And so when you change culture, it's very important to have your upper leaders talk about the change, but unless employees can see things changing as they walk around, it's not as compelling an argument.
Our new CEO is down in the fitness center every morning, and he's made that a part of his daily routine, and he's not going to change that. And I think that's where it starts. It starts from the top, and it's the shadow that he cast. We also have energy zones within the building, so maybe you're not able to take the time to get down to the fitness center. And these consist of different exercise equipment, ping pong tables, anything just to kind of give the employee that time to step away, take a moment for themselves, and just be active.
But as people walk around the building every day, the building is messaging to them about the kind of behaviors that we want them to do.
I don't feel like I'm being forced to do anything. In fact, I know I'm not. It literally is my choice to engage in our health programs here at USA, and so I do.
We know that if our employees are healthier, they are more productive and reduce costs to the association.
Employees are at work. They're not taking sick days. They're not having to go do things like take time off to go to the doctor's office. We have an on-site clinic here.
If we can keep them active, giving them that little extra boost to stay on the phone and work with those members, the better they are, the better we serve our members and our mission.
And that's really what we're all about, is serving our members and making sure that our employees are uniquely postured to do that. And we do that very well through our wellness culture.
Promoting good health is a core value for these companies, where business executives and middle managers lead by example, and the workers themselves are actively involved in shaping the programs so that they meet the needs of individuals and their families. We hope you find the Promoting Healthy Workplaces project insightful, and that these and other stories on our website inspire you to create your own cultures of health, population health improvement, and a healthy bottom line.
If I remember correctly, Miss Carla, we've actually seen this video before.
I think so too. When I was watching it again, I was like, I think I've
Yeah, we've done this one before. I love this one. Yes.
It's been quite a while, but we need to just not offer free health insurance without teaching people healthy lifestyle practices. And, I remember, let's just say you're in a hospital and, Put healthy stuff in your vending machines for the people that are working nights that don't have a cafeteria to go to, you know, that might need some food because they didn't get a chance to make anything or whatever. When you have drug reps or pharmaceutical reps or whatever, you know, product reps come in, you know, and they want to provide lunch, have some healthy places that you can tell them where you would like to have lunch provided from, because they can afford it. And take an active stance towards helping your employees be healthy and have salads or grilled chicken or whatever. There's so many different things, you know, Mediterranean stuff, you know, do something like that as opposed to just throwing 3 pizzas on the table. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a pepperoni pizza, you know, but not every day, not every week, you know. Offer those healthy options for people. And really put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I truly believe, Carla, once we do create that healthy lifestyle for everybody, whether to be at work or at home, it really is going to make people not only be more productive in every aspect of their lives, but be more productive even when it comes to that workplace dynamic.
Well,
And
they're going to feel
I
better.
still say that again.
They're going to feel better.
Well, absolutely, you'll feel
Be sick
better.
less. Productivity is going to go up. Your ROI is going to increase because you're investing in your employees. And you're going to get a return on that because your productivity is going to go up. People are going to be sick less often. You're going to have a better working team when everyone's healthy.
Exactly, exactly. And when we do create that culture of health and we all embrace it from, and it's just like that one gentleman said, you know, he is not being forced to do it. It's a choice to him. And I truly believe, Carla, when you give people choices and you give them the freedom to make that, that comes from them and them alone.
But tell me this. I mean, you know, you want to create a healthy lifestyle for the work environment, and you put all these things out there. How do you get people to make that healthy choice?
Well, it's about creating that environment with them. Three, they see it and they feel it in their heart of hearts. And still make it about them and not about you. Because it's like what that one lady said. Our CEO is in the gym here at work, and it's part of his daily routine. Yes, it can be done from a top down perspective, but I also believe it can be from a bottom up perspective too as well. Everybody can have a hand in that, so both sides can come together to make that happen. And when everybody's engaged and rowing the same way, and like you said, rowing and growing in the same direction, people will actually recognize that that environment does truly exist. And again, it is about that choice. They have the freedom to do that. And yes, there might be those days, Carla, they're going to say, hey, I'm not feeling up to it today. I don't really want to go to the gym. But it's like at USAA. If you can't go to the gym, they even have a quiet space there for you. So if you want to at least have that quiet time to yourself, you have the option to do so. And I believe that's a beautiful thing because, see, to me, not only does options matter, options create opportunities for people to make it in the way they see fit for them, not from us from a place of leadership. Because, see, when you start telling people you must do things in this way or
Oh
you
yeah.
must do things in that way, then it becomes into the kind of like in a need of or in order to of kind of dynamic just to be not only healthy in that health and wellness dynamic, but then you're going to end up saying, what about the time? Do I have the time for this? Or am I going to set aside that time? Yeah, it might be up to me to be able to create that, but is my partners in business, whether it be from leadership, whether it be some management, whether it be our team members that's in that same um, department, are we actually going to make that time together? And when everybody's not only accountable to themselves, but accountable to everybody else when it comes to that time perspective, hey, Carla, I know you probably don't have the time today, but would you like to set aside time tomorrow? We'll go take a walk together.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
about trying to make that happen.
Well, I look at it as, and I did a lot of this when I was working, because I used to have a friend of mine that would work during lunch, and I'd say, come on, let's go out and take a walk. And I think if you set that example for people and encourage them to do certain things, whether you have a water challenge or you have a stair challenge or whatever, to foster those lifestyle changes, they're going to start to realize that, oh, wow, I really feel better. I'm taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator and gee, I've lost 5 pounds, or, hey, I'm getting plenty of water and, I'm actually better focused, or I'm taking a walk at lunchtime, or I'm going to the gym after work, and create little challenges. But I think that if you set a good example, people are going to be more likely to follow you.
Correct.
Because when I heard about, hey, I could get free insurance if I met with a wellness person on a quarterly basis, and I'm like, that's it. I was really shocked that so many people didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah. And again, Carla, it really begs to question, why do we not take better control of our health? Why do we not do that?
I don't know.
For me, for decades, especially from my point of view, and what I've done for many years, is I didn't really take control of my health. But now, through the prism of connecting with you, Carla, I have done just that. Because I know for me to be healthy, it's not only a better way to be, but it's a better way to lead my life in the way that I can do it. And by doing that, not only am I going to create that better healthy lifestyle for myself and share it with others and share what I love, but also it's going to bring my wife home from work, and she'll be more healthier and better for it, because when she sees me healthy, she's going to say, wait a minute, Chris, I got to find out what you're doing. And then she'll start sharing it with her friends and start sharing it with her coworkers.
Well, it starts a movement, and when you lead by example, it starts a movement, and people have to be ready whenever they're ready and see the benefit of it and actually kind of experience it. And then, I was just like, oh, I'm doing okay years ago. And then I realized I wasn't, when I didn't realize how bad I felt until I actually realized how good it was to feel good again. It was like night and day difference.
For me alone, since I've been on now this health and wellness journey that me and you are now on, I've been on it for a little over 2 months now, and I feel 10 times better, because in the entire 2 months, I've only maybe, if any, had maybe the maximum of maybe 10 sodas. That's it. I consistently kind of weeded down that dynamic. and I feel better. I'm sleeping better, and I don't get up thinking, oh my God, I'm just gonna be
Drag
so
me
sick.
out of bed.
Yeah. Even though I've been an early riser from the day I was born, I was born at 6:23 in the morning. Excuse me, 6:33 in the morning.
Your poor
You
mother.
know, yeah. I just know when I get up in the morning, I'm feeling better because not only do I have a better outlook on the day, I have a better way to feel because I am not going, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
and then,
sleep well. I want to go back to sleep. Yeah.
oh, let me just hit the alarm clock a little bit more, 5 more minutes, which turns into 10, which turns into 15, which turns into half an hour. There's been many times I did that. I would just do that, close my eyes and go, okay, another 15, another 15. Now, granted, there might be days that you didn't get that sleep that you were looking for, and that is okay. But when you have lived in that lifestyle that you dread getting up every single day and thinking, oh no, what do I do now? Do I go to work? Do I stay home? Do I take a personal day off? Do I call in sick? What do I do? Well, the best way to take control of that is number one, not only take control of your health, never put yourself in that place to begin with.
Yeah. I rarely took a sick day. I was never sick. Luckily.
Well, the entire time that I've been at the restaurant, I've only maybe have called out only once the entire almost close to 4 years I've been at the restaurant. Once. And that's saying something. Because and it's like with my wife. Melinda, it's hard for her to even say no to work. And she goes in sometimes sick and sometimes sicker than a dog, but she still goes in there. I'm thinking, honey, why? Don't. She accrues all this time and never uses it.
She doesn't lose it?
No, she doesn't use it.
No, but like in some companies, if you have, let's just say 15 PTO days, if you don't
Right?
use it, you lose it.
Well, for her, she's not in that dynamic. Now the way Walmart does, I believe that is the case now. But when they first started this program, and they were basing it off the same model as Amazon. Amazon was the first company who actually did that. But the way they used to have it at Walmart is not only would you have vacation time, but also have personal time, but also you would have sick time. Now
Yeah.
what they've done is kind of rolled it into two separate buckets. But for her, since she was got so much time accrued, they wasn't going to take that away from her, and also what she had. So what she had was basically grandfathered in, and then anything else there moving forward when they implemented the new program, that's just going to tack on and add on to that.
Yeah. There was a place Jim worked. He was in inside sales, and they actually, after you've been there a certain length of time, you had to take a sabbatical, and it was like a month. And
wow,
you didn't go into work. You weren't allowed access to your email. It was truly time away.
Now that's something, and you don't hear that often.
No, I don't think there's any companies that do that anymore.
So that begs the question then, Carla, why doesn't more companies do that?
They're focusing on the bottom line, I think.
Do you think it's not cost effective? I think it would be.
Yeah.
Because it just said in that video from the guy who was the CEO of Next Jump, he said we had a big percentage rise because these people are healthy. So it's there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it all depends on the structure that you have, how many employees you have. A lot of different things would have to go into that to be able to see whether you could allow that to happen.
Right. Right. So I think it's about time to get to our final thoughts and our call to action. And Miss Carla, what say you?
My final thoughts and call to action are take care of your health each and every day. Be the person to take action in the workplace to help create a healthy work environment to where everyone can focus on their health and wellness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. See, I truly believe as well, and this is my final thoughts and call to action as well. Create that environment in which you will love. Now, not only is the one that will turn into the life that you love, but it will turn into the lifestyle that you want to have in your life. Because truly, health and wellness is a lifestyle. It's not a diet.
Yeah.
Because if it was a diet,
until you've been hanging out with me.
If it was a diet, wouldn't you think we all be doing it? And then what's that thing? There's that thing called the yo-yo diet. You're always going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
People restrict themselves and they say, I had somebody that wanted to get more performance at the gym. And I said, well, let's talk about, he wanted to build muscle. I said, let's talk about what you're eating. I said, tell me what you're eating. He goes, hard-boiled eggs and nuts. And I said, is that all you're eating? Or are you doing that as snacks? Like, how much protein are you getting? No, that's all I'm eating. I said, you're not going to get the results you want at the gym living on hard-boiled eggs.
Right.
I can't imagine anybody doing that.
Right. And like I said, it is truly a lifestyle. And don't be on that yo-yo. Don't.
Yeah.
Because
I tell people, I'm not going to tell you what you can't eat. I want you to make that decision and know why one thing might be healthier than the other. And if I tell you can't have pizza every once in a while, what are you going to do? You're going to want pizza.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah. Well, see, that is why I believe in the value of choice, not a decision, because decisions are based in the past. But if you give power to choice, and again, it creates that lifestyle for you, then you're not basing things on things in the past. You're basing on things on the possibilities, the opportunities, and really having a positive lifestyle in and of itself through that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because if you always are doing things from a decision-based mindset, then what's that lead you down? To a paradigm of scarcity versus abundance. And then you end up thinking, I don't think I can do this. Because then you start looking at the scales.
I don't eat anything that I want, really, but it's a choice.
Like I said, then you'll be looking at the scale and hey, wait a minute. I was actually.
Yeah, it's how do I want to treat my body?
Yeah.
Don't want to be sick all the time and feeling bloated and yucky and tired all the time and having no energy. No.
Yeah. But like I said, don't be the one looking on the scale and say, hey, I'm 5 pounds over now compared to where I was last week. But see, that is going to happen. Your health is going to ebb and flow. But once you take control of that, after time, it becomes gradual. It's like the law of incremental growth. You don't start at 3 feet one day and become 6 feet the next. You don't start at 5 pounds and saying, I'm going to lose 10 pounds and be 10 pounds the next day. You have to gradually get into it. It's like you guys say your Amazon one.
Oh, that your body's not Amazon Prime. You're not going to lose weight in 2 days. Get delivery
or a business
number that you want in 2 days. Yeah.
But remember this.
Time. Takes time.
Remember this. What is your I quit number, though?
0.
That is true. So from all of us here at Bringing Humanity Together, have a great and fantastic day. Have a wonderful weekend. Ms. Carla, thank you so much for this great and engaging conversation. And we'll be seeing everybody for our community call on Monday, and then back at them at Tuesday for Share and Care of BHT. So everyone have a great day, make your day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.